Hello.
Hello. Okay. Hello, everybody. Today, I think our class is quite crowded. We have new students here, Hussein and Javed. Javed. Okay. Hussein, Javed, can you turn on your camera and would you like to introduce yourself before we start our class? And after that, we will continue. Yes, Hussein.
Hello.
Hi. Do you hear me well, Hussein?
Yeah.
Very good. Okay. Okay, Hussein, actually, I heard about you and also Javed from Mr. Adalat. You are new students here. Actually, we started this class a few weeks ago. I think the last week of October, we have already studied with Arat, and after that also joined this class for about 5 or 6 weeks, I guess. Arat, is that right?
I think it's more than 7 weeks.
Are you sure? I think we started our class on October 26th. I guess today is December 15th. Yeah, it's about 6 or 7 weeks. Hussein, would you like to introduce yourself very briefly? Okay, and after that, we will listen to Javed. And after that, I will introduce myself and we will continue our class. Okay, yes, Hussein.
Not much information about myself. I'm ninth grade student. My favorite subject in school is math, and I want to participate in this uh, competition. Uh, I guess it is in Singapore, and I want to have maybe in top 10% or
Okay, Hussein, now are you studying at public school or private school?
in public school in school number 6.
Okay, so where did you learn English or where are you learning English now?
First steps of English was in my school, so of course, and then I went to my teacher, and I'm learning now and also studying to give SAT exam in 10th grade.
Mhm. Good, very good. How old are you? 14 or 15?
14, in next year I will be 15.
Okay, good. Nice to meet you. Same. Javed, how about you?
Yes, I'm 14 years old. I studied ninth grade. I studied school number 6.
So you study in the same school with Hussein.
Yes.
Do you know each other?
No.
So Hussein, you
No.
are grade 9. Javed also we are grade 9. Grade 9, what section is A or B or C?
A.
Hussein, how about you?
M.
M?
Yes.
9M.
Yes.
Really? Are there that many
Yeah.
sections?
How many students are in the school?
It isn't about the classes because after primary school we are only M. From classes 5 to 11 we are only M class.
Yeah, what do you mean? Like grade 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, like that?
No, it is only because there are not so many numbers, so many letters.
Well, what do you mean by M? I didn't get it.
Our class is 9M.
9M.
Yes.
Interesting. And Javid, you are 9A.
Yes.
Good. Okay, guys, nice to meet you then. As you see in the screen, my name is Qasim, Abdul Qasim, but you can call me Mr. Qasim or Teacher Qasim. Or okay. Guys, you are teaching students who are a bit more mature is quite easy comparing to teaching students who are like 10 or 11, 12 years old. As you know, actually, I'm teaching right now grade 6, I mean grade 7, 8, and 9, and also 10. So it's very good. Hussein and Javid, actually hearing that you have a goal and you are going to participate in a kind of competition, right? Math competition. It may be an Olympiad or kind of competition, doesn't matter. And the competition is not the last station, right? It's after that, you'll go to a college or university. After that, you'll have a career. And somehow we are shaping your thinking skill, okay? And this is a private online class, Hussein and Javid and Aras. And it's not like school math, right? So that means that is a kind of platform that you can share everything with each other, with me. If you have any problem related to math, you can bring it here. We can have a discussion and somehow we will share our opinions, our knowledge with each other, okay? And in this regard, you should be very relaxed, very free to ask anything to me during this class time. And of course, most of the time you keep your camera off, but I wish all of you actually have good internet connection and they keep your camera on so that I can see your face and we can have sometimes discussion. It's good. But still, maybe if you're tired or I don't know, because if you know that math is important for you, actually all subjects are important. But we know that in international arena, right? If you're thinking to study abroad, number one, you need to have a good language skill, that is English now, right? And number two, your thinking skill, that is math. And that's why if you are really good in your communication skill and language skill plus and math, and a lot of doors are open for you, okay? And that is the reality, and that is the truth. And Hussein and Javid, we have already covered 3 chapters, and we are doing now chapter 4 is about coordinate geometry, and we are about to finish also this chapter. And also we have a group in WhatsApp, all right? And if you just add my number or give me your number, we will add you there. So you will receive your homework, assignment, and test from that group, I mean through that group, okay? Quickly, let me just drop my number, WhatsApp number here. It is +855. Okay, +855 95982881. That's my WhatsApp number. You can just say hi and I will add you to the group. Okay. Now, Saint Javid's, and you are new. Now, after maybe 1 or 2 classes, you will have some idea how we are having this class, all right? And after that, I think you'll get used to it. And after all, this is math. Learning is quite easy. And also having, I mean, teaching math is quite easy comparing to other subjects, because what are we going to learn here? Now you need to get some knowledge, right? For example, knowledge means we need to know how to solve a quadratic equation, the techniques and methods. We need to know some get some idea about coordinate geometry and blah blah. These are knowledge. And once we have this knowledge, using this knowledge, then we need to consolidate our knowledge. How? By practicing problems, right? As many problems as possible. Of course, you don't have to solve the same type of problems again and again. If possible, every time you need to find some different problems and try to solve. Okay. And after each, actually for each chapter, also I give you some homework. Homework means if you do this, it's good for you. If you don't do this, that means that in the future you have to practice. Okay. And also doing homework doesn't mean that you have to solve every problem. Have a look, okay? Maybe you can do 1 question, skip 2 questions. Do one question, skip 2 questions. At least if you do 35% of the questions, it would be great, okay? And after that, maybe after each chapter, you're going to have a test, okay? And this time, I think I'm going to give this test online during the class time. You need to answer the questions. At least I can see your progress so that I can give some report to your parents about your progress, okay? Let's continue then. Anytime, Hussein Javid, if you have question, you can stop and ask, okay? We can stop and have some discussion and continue. Good. Let's continue then. If you, Hussein Javid, any questions so far? Is everything clear?
Yeah, everything. Clear.
Yes.
Very good. So the last part of this coordinate geometry, we were talking about a circle, and last time we did we talked about a circle, how to obtain the equation of a circle. And as you know, we need two pieces of information to be actual to write the equation of a circle. Number one is the center, right? The location of the center. Where is the center of the circle? And number two is, okay, the center is there. How about the radius of the circle? And if we have these two pieces of information, then we can write the equation of a circle, right? And the equation of a circle and the graph means that is the geometric interpretation of the algebraic equation, right? So because in math means most of the time when we are talking about the problem, number one, in algebraic way we have to solve this, and usually in graphical way we need to present it to the people so that it is easy to understand, right? If you just look at the quadratic equation, you may not see actually what we're talking about, or quadratic function. But if you draw the graph, the people can see this function on this interval, it is increasing. On this interval, it is decreasing. This point is, it is turning point, right? At this point, the function has maximum value, or at this point, maximum has minimum value. Over this interval, the function assumes negative numbers, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Anyway, let's continue, guys. We did two examples. I think we stopped here. Okay, so I will continue from here. In this question, find the center and radius of the circle. Here the equation is given. This is an algebraic equation. 2x squared plus 2y squared minus 3x plus 4y plus 1 equals 0. And we are, suppose that we are talking about this circle in the picture. So O is the center, and suppose that the coordinates of center is H and K. X coordinate is H and Y coordinate is K. And also the radius of this circle is R. At that time, if you know this, we know that the equation of the circle is, what is it? X minus H squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared, right? So as you see here, this x and y, these are the unknowns, variables. What does it mean? It means that any two numbers, x and y, that satisfy this equation, that means that it is on the circle, somewhere, anywhere here. That means that any point on the circle, actually that points x and y coordinates satisfy this equation. That means that there's a kind of interplay between algebra and geometry. So actually to find this, I should just convert this equation, the given equation, into this form, right? How can I do this? Just doing some algebraic manipulations. So here, what we call this, it is called a perfect algebra. Perfect square, right? And also this one is a perfect square. Why perfect square? Because it is a square of an algebraic expression. How do we do that? To do this one, the first thing is I need to have only x squared, y squared. So let's divide both sides by 2. That's the first step. Okay, first step, divide by 2. Then here we have x squared. And also let's just reorganize this and write first terms that has x. Here we have x squared. And if you divide this negative 3x by 2, so here we have minus 3 over 2x plus 2y squared is divided by 2. So here we have y squared, and here we have 4y divided by 2. Here we have plus 2y. And plus here we have 1 over 2. On the right hand side, 0 over 2 is equal to 0. So now I will try to write this in this form, and also this y part in this term, in this form. So here to write this, we know that's, let me just write here, a minus b squared, right? What is it? We know that that's equal to a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So to write an algebraic expression in the form of something squared, it must be in this form, right? That is a squared minus 2 times a times b plus b squared. Okay, so here I have a squared. I have no problem. X squared. So in the formula we have 2. So I can just write here 2 times 3 over 4x. So what do I need here? Something is missing, right? To be a perfect square. The square of this number is missing, 3 over 4 squared. Let me just add, and also actually I will subtract a bit later. Plus the y part, here we have y squared plus 2 times 1 times y. So I need the square of 1. So here we have 1 squared, and minus 3 over 4 squared minus 1 squared, and here we have 1 over 2 is equal to 0. I just added and subtract this number. So we know that in algebra, a plus 0 is equal to a. That is very simple algebraic manipulation. I'm just using this property. So as you see here, the first three terms, it forms the perfect square. So we can write it as x minus 3 over 4 squared. And how about the second part? It is y plus 1 squared. And the rest of the numbers, let me just simplify first and take them to the right-hand side. Okay, let me just do this and delete it. Minus 3 over 4 squared, that is minus 9 over 16, minus 1 plus 1 over 10, which is equal to, common denominator is 16. Here we have negative 9 minus 16 plus 8. That is equal to minus 17 over 16, right? So now if I take this number to the right-hand side, here we will have, here we have 17 over 16. So now we have already written this in this form, right? This equation of the circle. So that means that here dots, the center of the circle, it says the center and the radius, right? The center of the circle, or its coordinates are 3 over 4 and negative 1. And its radius is equal to square root of this number, right? Which is equal to square root of 17 over 4. That's it. All right, any question?
No.
Hussein, is it clear?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, now I'm going to ask you one challenging question today. Let's do fraction a few questions, and after that, I will ask one question. If you solve this correctly, I will buy coffee for you. Do you have Starbucks in Baku?
I think yes.
Did you ever drink coffee at Starbucks, Arat?
No.
Also, how about you?
Can you repeat it, please?
Did you ever drink coffee at Starbucks?
Of course.
Of course, yes, or of course not.
Yes.
When did you drink the last time?
It was 1 month ago, I think.
When? How many days ago? How many weeks ago? How many years ago?
1 month ago.
1 month ago. So November 15. Okay. All right. Hussein, can you read the question?
Find the equation of the circle which passes through the points A 5, 0 and B 3 and 4 and has its center lying on the line 2 y plus x equal to 4.
Equals 4. Actually, the graph is not given. I draw this for you. Even it's not given, first you need to draw this Just imagine that it is something like this. It doesn't have to be drawn to scale, right? So it says that we need to find the equation of the circle. That means that to write the equation of the circle, again, we need two things, right? Number one is radius of the circle. Number two is the coordinates of the center of the circle. So actually we are looking for these two things. So what is given here? Number one, it says that find the equation of the circle which passes through the points A, 5, 0, and B, 3, 4, right? So where are actually these points? 5, 0, it is this point, right? So it is x-intercept. Let's say that point is A. That is 5 and 0. And how about 3, 4? 3, 4 is somewhere here. I don't know, it's somewhere here. Let's say that point is B. So it is B, 3, and 4. So our circle is passing through these 2 points, A and B. And it says that has a center lying on the line, 2y plus x equals 4. And how do I know that it is a falling line like this? Because if you just write this in gradient form, 2y is equal to negative x plus 4. If you divide both sides by 2, here we have y is equal to negative half x plus 2. Now from here, the gradient is negative, right? That means that the angle between the line and the positive direction of the x-axis, it should be more than 90 degrees, which is obvious. So our line is something like this. So this one is the center of the circle. What are the coordinates? I don't know. What are the coordinates? These are the coordinates. Let's say this x coordinate is h and y coordinate is k, right? And after that, if I know h and k, let me write this O here. And either if I know the distance, right? Because if I know h and k, after that we know that if we know the coordinates of 2 points, we can find the distance between these 2 points, right? So either I can find the distance between O and B, which actually gives us the radius of the circle, or also I can use the distance between O and A. Also, that is the distance. I mean, that gives the radius of the circle, right? All right, so here we will start finding this h and k. How can I find this? Number one, since actually these points, right, the center of the circle is lying here, let me just find how k and h, do they have any connection? Are they connected to each other by some rule or not? As you see here, since the center of the circle is lying on this line, that means that here, that's our line, right? That is our line. Okay, so that means that if x is h, y must be k. Here, k should be equal to minus 1 over 2 h plus 10, right? Because that point belongs to this line. So now I know this. Okay, here the coordinates of O, let me just write here, O, that is h and k, or at the same time, that is, here we have h, and how about k in terms of h, that is minus 1 over 2 h plus 2. That is the most important point here. If you cannot see this, okay, if you cannot see this, you cannot solve this problem. And maybe after that, I will listen to Arad if he may have some different idea or method to solve this problem. So now I know this. Now I will use, this is the first part. In the second part, I will use this one. So we know that the radius is equal to OB, at the same time is equal to OA. Or from this equality, both are positive. Also, it's the same thing as OB squared is equal to OA squared. Okay, so they have two implication here. So what is OB? So let me just write here, OB squared is equal to, I'm just writing square here because I don't want to use the roots. After all, if you just square both sides and we'll just eliminate the square root, right? So what is OB squared? How do you find the distance between B and O? So that's equal to h minus 3 squared plus k minus 4 squared. Now, if I just write this in terms of h only, so that will be equal to h minus 3 squared plus, what is k? K equals minus 1 over 2 times h plus 2. That is minus 1 over 2 h plus 2. and here we have minus 4 squared. And how about OA squared? OA squared, that's also radius squared. That's equal to h minus 5 squared. Here we have h minus 5 squared plus, and here we have k minus 0 squared. Or that's just equal to h minus 5 squared plus, what is k? K equals minus 1 over 2 h plus 2 squared. Arat, any question?
No.
Okay, then if no question, as you see here, we have two equations in h, right? And these two things are equal to each other, right? If you just equate these two things, I will get an equation in h, one equation, one variable. That means we can solve this. So let me just expand the left-hand side, OB squared. Here we have h minus 3 squared. That's equal to h squared minus 6h plus 9. And how about this one? This one is 2 minus 4 is minus 2, right? It is minus minus just plus. So here we have plus 1 over 4h plus 2 times 1 over 2 is 2. And here we have 2. So that's equal to 2h and plus 4, right? On the right-hand side, here we have h squared minus 10h plus 25. And how about this one? We have already just done here. It's only minus here, right? So here we have 1 over 4h squared minus 2 times 1 over 2. It is 1, 1 times it is 2. So here we have 2 times h plus 4, right? Okay, now we can just cancel out the same terms or like terms, h squared, h squared. They cancel out each other. 1 over 4h squared, 1 over 4h squared. They cancel out each other. Anything else? Okay, the rest for, let's simplify this. Minus 6h plus 2h. So here we have minus 4h. 9 plus 4, it is 13 plus 13. Just we have here linear equation. Minus 10h minus 2h, that is minus 12h. And 25 plus 4, that's equal to 29. And if you just solve this for h, take negative 12 to the left-hand side. Here we have 8h and 29 minus 13, that's equal to 16. So from here, what is h? H equals 2. If h equals 2, if you substitute here, right, it is minus 1 over 2 times 2, it is minus 1 plus 2. So k will be equal to 1. All right, so actually we have just found the coordinates of the center of the circle, that is hk, that is 2 and 1. Now, how do you find the radius? Either OB or OA, it gives us the radius. Let me just calculate the radius here. Let me use OA because one coordinate is 0, easy to calculate this. So that's equal to square root of, and what is 2 minus 5, right? Now we know the coordinates of O, that is 2 and 1. 2 minus 5, it is negative 3. So here we have 3 squared plus 1 minus 0, it is 1. Here we have 1 squared, which is equal to square root of 10. So the radius of the circle is square root of 10, and the center is at the point O, whose coordinates are 2 and 1. Javed, is everything okay?
Yes.
Any question, Javed? Ask me one question about this problem. What question would you ask?
Everything is clear.
Everything is clear. So you understood everything.
Yes.
Good, Javed. Now I'm going to ask one question. Not now, maybe we have example 5 and 6, I think 7 and 8. Okay, after that, I will ask that question. Okay. Example 5.
Teacher, but the
Javed.
question,
Sorry?
the last question said find the equation as well.
You mean example 6 or 5? Or 4?
The one on this one, 4. It says
Yes.
find the equation.
Find the equation. Okay, all right. So now we'll find the equation then here. Thank you, Arad. So dots, dots, dots. The equation of the circle is x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to 10. That is the equation of this circle. Thank you. That's really important point, Arad. A lot of those students, they make that mistake. They solve the question. After that, they just move to the next question and they forgot actually. Sometimes question is different, you know. Okay, we can form the equation, find the value of x, but the question may be different. Still, actually, your solution is correct, but you may not get the full score. Okay, maybe they may just deduct like 10% or 20% from the full score. Good, let's continue. Javid, can you read example 5?
Show that the y-axis touches the circle x square plus y square minus 2 square minus 6
2x.
2x minus 6y plus 9 equals 0.
Okay. Javid, did you understand the question?
Okay. What the oh yes. Okay.
Show that means, what does show that means here? It means that prove, right? We have to prove it.
Mhm.
We have to prove that the y-axis touched the circle. It's not given. I just draw this so that you can understand what we mean here. Actually, here, if you draw the circle, it touches the y-axis here. Show that the y-axis touched the circle. That means that the y-axis is tangent to the circle. This is our x-axis, this is our y-axis. We have to show that. And my next question is, Javid, how do you show that it touches or the y-axis touches the circle? How do you show that? Arats, what do you think? How do we solve this question?
Actually, it have two ways. One of them is first make this equation to circle equation, then put y0, then bring that number to the right, then you will find that one. Or you can find, again, make it to circle equation, find the center and find the radius. Then if the radius and the x axis of that x point of that center is the same as radius, so it's touching the y-axis.
Okay. Yeah, actually from different points you can approach this problem, but I think Arats here show that the y-axis touches the circle. In math, when we just say that a line touches the curve, any kind of curve, also circle is a kind of curve, right? If you just talk about, if you consider only this part, for example, it's a kind of curve, right? What do we mean by just touch? It means that actually at that point, right? At that point, how to say that? In the circle, touch means that they have only one intersection point, right? That means that the line intersects the circle at one point, right? So what does it mean? It means that here we know that when we talk about the intercept, the y-intercept or x-intercept, if we want to find the y-intercept of some kind of graph, for example, let's say like this. This one is y-intercept, right? How do you find the y-intercept? To find the y-intercept, we know that x is equal to 0, right? Because here x is equal to 0. So now I will show that when x is equal to 0, that means that we will find y-intercept, right? Okay, y-intercepts. Let's say intercept. I don't know, it's intercept or intercepts. It's one or two. But I will show that here, there's only one y-intercept. What does it mean? If there's only one y-intercept, that means that y touches the circle, because we have three possibilities, right? Either if you're given a circle, okay, either our y-axis may be something like this, or it just touches the circle as it is in this problem, or it just crosses the circle at two different points, right? So that is our case here. If it's not the case here, if it is not this the case here, that means that the only case here is this. That means that it just touches the circle. Okay, that is the point here. So if x equals 0, substitute 0 into the equation, then here we have y squared minus 2 times x. 2 times 0 is 0, minus 6y plus 9 is equal to 0. And we are familiar with this algebraic expression, right? What is it? It is a perfect square, because I can write it as the square of y minus 3 squared is equal to 0. It has two roots, but these roots are equal to each other, or we call this coincident roots in math. So that means that here it has two roots, x1 and x2, that's equal to 3. What does it mean? It means that the y-axis crosses the circle at only one point. That means that the y-axis is tangent to the circle. Okay. So actually, when we are you're just using some different expressions, we should know that actually they mean the same thing. Okay. Another example, I think that's our last example. Oh, we have, okay, 7 examples here. Another example, the circle, okay, equation is given here, x squared plus y squared. What time is it? Okay, maybe I can give you a 4-minute break after this example. The circle x squared plus y squared minus 7x minus 3y minus 18 equals 0. Okay, cuts the x-axis at a and b. Okay, here it is cutting the x-axis at a and b. Let's say this point is a and this point is b. And this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis. And the y-axis at point C and D. And let's say this point is C, okay, and this point is D. Prove that the product of OA and OB, what is OA? And O is the origin, right? That is O. So that is OA, we are talking about this. OA and the OB is equal to always OC and times OD, okay? In general, actually, if you have ever studied the properties of a circle, in general, that thing is true. If I draw any circle, even not in coordinate system, right? If you just draw any two chords, let's say this one is the first one, and that is the second one, okay? And that distance times this one is equal to this times this, okay? I can just put letters here. Let's say this one is X, this one is Y, this one is W, this one is Z. So X times Y always is equal to W times Z. I mean, they're your distance, right? 9 segments. So now here, using the coordinate geometry, we are going to prove this theorem. And that's why it says that what is it? Okay, prove that, because it's a theorem. It's a small theorem, but always it is true. Okay, but using this particular example, so the first one is, Hussein, let me ask this question for you. How can I find the coordinates of C and D? Oh, let's start with A and B. Okay, how do you find the coordinates of point A and point B? Actually, A and B, saying, what is it? We call this, these are, actually this circle is a graph, right? The circle also is a graph of an equation, right? And what is that equation? Here. That is the equation. That's a graph of this equation. Here, this A and B are x-intercepts of the graphs, right? This A and B. What are these points? These are x-intercepts. We call them intercepts. You know, you're just walking and another person intercepts your way, right? It just crosses your way, something like this. And to find the x-intercept, how do you find this? Actually, that means that point A, right? Let's say its coordinate is x1 and y coordinate is equal to 0, because here it's on the x-axis, y coordinate is equal to 0. How about point B? Here we have x2, again, y coordinate is equal to 0. So to find the coordinates of A and B, we need to substitute 0 for y in the equation, right? So if y is equal to 0, then our equation becomes here x squared, y squared, 0 squared, that's equal to 0, minus 7x, and minus 3y, that's equal to 0, minus 18 is equal to 0. What is it? It's just a quadratic equation Of course, here, because A and B, these are different points, right? That means that this quadratic equation must have distinct roots. Distinct means two different roots. So we can solve this by factorization. Negative 18 is negative 9 times 2. Negative 7 is negative 9 plus 2. So I can factorize it as x plus 2 and the x minus 9 is equal to 0. So that means that x1 is equal to negative 2 and x2 is equal to 9. So from here, the coordinates of A dot 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 A, it is negative 2, 0. Coordinates of B, it is 9, 0. Okay, we are done with the first part of this question. And how about the second part? Now we need to find the coordinates of C and D. And what are these C and D? And C and D are y-intercepts, right? To find the y-intercepts, we need to actually substitute 0 for x. If x equals 0, then our equation becomes here y squared minus 3y minus 18 is equal to 0. Again, by actually factorization, here we have negative 6 times 3, and this one is negative 6 plus 3. So I can factorize it as y minus plus 3 and y minus 6 is equal to 0. From here, y sub 1 is equal to negative 3 and y sub 2 is equal to 6. So dot dot dot, the coordinates of C are negative 3, sorry. It is 0 and negative 3. And how about the coordinates of D? They are 0 and 6, right? So now I will show here, what is OA? From here, OA is equal to 3. And how about OB? OB is equal to 6, sorry, 9. It is 9, right? And how about here, OC, that's equal to 3. And the OD,
OA isn't negative 2.
it is 2, right? It is 2. OC equals 3 and OD is equal to 6. As I say here, 2 times 9 is equal to 18, as 3 times 6 is equal to 18. So dot, 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 since from here is COA times OB is equal to OC times OD. But in general, for every circle, that is right. If you just draw two chords, if they intersect each other at this intersection point, I mean, those line segments from that point to the circumference of the circle, their products are the same. Anyway, that is also another interesting question. And also at the same time, we proved one theorem. Okay, guys, if you have any question about this, please.
Teacher, can we solve this in another easy way?
Easy way?
Because in both of the cases we get like quadratic equation and the C is not changing. And C is the multiplication of the roots.
Okay, then?
And because C is the same in both of them, so multiplication of the roots are the same. In both of them is negative 18.
Good. There's also another approach, all right? It's an original approach that you are right. Because when you just find x-intercept and y-intercept, right? This constant number, this negative 18, whatever we have here is not changing, right? So here, to answer, actually to use this method, Arat, you need to know that the product of the roots of a quadratic equation is always equal to, what is it? Minus C over A, right?
Yes.
So from there, C over A, yeah, then after that, from there, because if you are given any quadratic equation, even I don't have to write this A, in this case, A is equal to 1 because the circle equation. So if it is like x squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0. What is x1 times x2 is equal to c? Or
Actually, it's
is-
modulus of C. I mean, not in that one, but in this theorem, it should be modulus of C.
okay, even modulo of c doesn't matter. After all, we are going to, okay, here, let's say, let me just write like this one, and like this. And in the same case, if you just form the equation in y, and you are saying that here y sub 1 times y sub 2, again, it is c, right? And what are these? This x1 and x2. It is the distance between that point, right? X-intercepts and the origin. Good, Arat. That's also another different approach, but that is, how to say, more rigorous algebraic way. I have never thought this way, but this one is good idea. I like your idea, Rats. I really appreciate it. It's good. Guys, Saint Javed, also Arat, let's have break for 3 minutes, okay? We can just drink something or have a rest. After 3 minutes, we will have 15 more minutes and finish our class. And after that, if you have any question, you can stay. We can have more discussion. If you have no questions, I will finish today's class. Okay?
Okay.
3-minute break. Okay. Javed, did you study coordinate geometry, these topics before?
Yes, we started it at school.
Good. Hussein, how about you?
Same.
So Hussein, Javed, you know how to write the equation of a straight line, and you know how to find the gradient of a line, right? And you know how to find the distance between 2 points. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Arad, can you turn on your camera?
Yeah,
Yes or no?
yes.
Now I have one challenging question, Arad, saying also, Javed also. You can do on a paper, all right, and you'll just tell me the answer, and we will finish the class with this. This example 7, we will solve it next time. Okay, next time also we saw some more questions about coordinate geometry, and after that I will finish the class. And you have 5 minutes to solve the question. Okay, is it enough time? I think so. Okay.
Should we
If
equalize the equation?
sorry.
Should we equalize the equation like the ones which you did?
No, you should just answer the question. Okay, if your answer is correct, then I will look at your solution. And if you saw on the paper, after the question, you can just take a picture and send it to me. Okay, are you ready? Okay, if you are ready, okay, let's say 6 minutes. Okay, this is a question. This is a question. If the shaded region below is a square, and what is the length of one of its sides? Okay, and this one is our y-axis, and this one is our x-axis, and you see this is the origin, and this is a triangle, and we actually, a square is drawn inside this. The question is, what is the length of one of its sides? Okay, okay, start. Also, how is it going? Are you solving? Also, Javid, did you get anything, any results?
Not yet.
Arat, how about you?
I always get the stupid answer. I don't know why I'm not finding anything.
Did you get the results? Did you get any result? Did you get any answer?
No,
Or still working?
still working.
Okay. Hussein, how about you?
Same. Still working.
Are you working or you're just thinking?
Thinking.
Thinking. Arat, how about you?
I thought about the way, but it's so long. I'm thinking about shorter way.
That's a question from Math Olympiad, but not very high level, but in city level or something, as I remember. It's very nice, beautiful question. Guys, let's solve it together, okay? And after that, I'll finish the class. Actually, it's very simple using the coordinate geometry. So we know that square means a special quadrilateral, right? All sides are equal and all interior angles are 90 degrees. Now, if you look at this straight line passes through this, let me just change the color. So that's our origin, right? And passes through this point. And this is 0, 0, and it is 4, 4. And what is the equation of this line? Arat?
Y is equal to x.
Y is equal to x, right? And suppose that the coordinates of actually the height, I mean, the side of the square, all sides are equal. We know that, okay? And let's say it is A, okay? That means that y coordinate of this point, right? Let's say this point P, it is A. And since it is on the line y equals x, also this point must be A, right? Now, how about the coordinates of this point? It is
2a.
2A. And let's say this point is Q. How about the coordinates of Q? It is 2A and A, right? Now from here, let me write the equation of this line. It just passes through this point 4, 4 and 10, 0, right? What is the equation of this line? It is y minus 0 over x minus 10 is equal to the slope. Slope is 4 minus 0. Here we have 4 minus 0 over 4 minus 10. It is 4 minus 10. Or if you simplify this, here we have y is equal to 4 minus 4 over negative 6. That's equal to negative 2 over 3. Is that right? It is 2 minus 6 this way, right? So here we have x minus 10, right? Or let me just write it like this. Y is equal to minus 2 over 3x plus 20 over 3. Now that is the equation of this line. As you see here, let me just write here that L, right? And point Q belongs to this line, right? As you see here, the point Q is lying on this line. That means that the coordinates of Q must satisfy this equation. So if you substitute here 2A, and the y is equal to A is equal to minus 2 over 3 times. How about x? It is 2A. So that is 2A plus 20 over 3. Now from here, if you just multiply both sides by 3, here we have 3A equals negative 4A plus 20. Now if you just solve this equation for A, what is A? A is equal to 20 over 7. Actually, what is A? A is the length of one side of the square. So the length of one side of the square is 20 over 7. Okay. Good. Guys, I will finish the class. Before this, as you see here, it's really, some problems with the help of coordinate geometry, you can solve very, very easily. And also last time, if you remember, when we talk about the area of rectilinear figures, right? And also using coordinate geometry, if you just know the coordinates of the vertices of any polygon, we can find the area just in one step, okay? That is this coordinate geometry, very, very powerful tool to solve a lot of problems. As you see, as you go deeper and deeper, you learn more and more math, you will understand that actually this coordinate geometry, very helpful actually to solve a lot of problems. By using coordinate geometry, we can solve them very easily. Anyway, why am I saying that? Javid, Arat, Hussein, also, that's really interesting thing. I mean, if you still do not have that complete intuition about this concept, try to practice a bit more problems, okay? At least the assignments that I give you, try to solve those questions. As you solve more, even if you know actually, if you think that, oh, I can solve this question, solve this in a more systematic mathematical way that gives you more self-confidence, okay? Anyway, Javid, Arat, I'm not Arat, Hussein, I have already given you my telephone number, okay? If you are using WhatsApp, just say, hi, I'm Javid grade 9 or I'm Hussein grade 9. I will add you to our group, and also I will just share all the materials that I share with other students, okay? Just keep in touch. If you have any question, anytime, even now today is Tuesday, right? Our class is on Friday. If you have a question, Ara, for example, you can just ask me, Mr. Qasim, at this time, can we meet? We can have a one-to-one meeting for like maybe 10 or 15 minutes, okay? We'll have some kind of short discussion, and I'll try to help you. You don't have to wait for the next class. Okay, guys? Okay, Javid and Hussein asked me once again, also, and the others, I will meet you on Friday, okay? So try to solve as many questions, especially from the circle part. And next week, you will have another test, but I will announce the date and the time later, okay? Details about the next test. Guys, thank you very much. See you on Friday, okay? Bye-bye.
Do we have
Yes,
homework?
Sarah. Say
Do
again?
we have homework? Should we do the paper which you sent 4 circles?
Yeah, I already shared, right, with you.
Yes.
Yeah, those questions, try to solve. If you have already finished, let me know. I will give you some different questions then, if you finish already.
And
If
should I
not,
send
try
it
to
as
finish.
PDF?
Sorry?
Should I again send it as PDF?
You mean this circle?
No, I mean the ones which you sent the homework one. After I finished.
Yeah, if you finish, you can send me. I can have a look how you solve the problems. Okay. Of course, I don't check every problem one by one, but I will look at your work. How did you solve the questions?
Oh, thank you.
Okay, especially but your tests are important. At tests, I can actually look every problem one by one, how you are solving the problems. But this homework, just practice problems, just you need to practice, okay? I also give you answers, I think. Solve it and check the answer. If everything is good, okay. Yeah, your answer and the answer from the book is different. At that time, you can bring those questions to the class and we can have discussion over those problems. Okay, Arat? Okay.
Okay.
Guys, see you on Friday, okay?
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. So thank you.